Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel for war number 3 of season 48. Today we have a matchup against the best of the best GT40. This is always a very difficult war for us, as it is for probably everybody who faces them, frankly. Chavez, Iron Man, and Deathstrike on the team today, and as you will see shortly, I think bringing Chavez here turned out to be a big mistake, but we'll talk about that in a couple minutes. We're on path 6 to start. I'm splitting this path with someone else. So first up we have a bishop here on node 6, and we're going to go in here with Iron Man. Now this node on here punishes prowess removal by giving him like half a bar of power, and Iron Man has uncontrollable prowess removal on his special attack. So you can see me being very intentional here with my basics. We're doing parry, light, medium, in order to not give Bishop any additional prowess, and our basic attacks will not be granting him any either because we are a tech champ. Now that being said, Iron Man's special 1 does contain energy damage, and I knew about this going in. So once we trigger the arc reactor, we fire off our special 2. We then have to be sure that we only fire off our special 1 when we have enough power to give him that's not going to push him into the red here. So you're going to see me do that right about here. So we've pushed him below a bar of power here, and now I am absolutely sure that invalidating this prowess is not going to give him too much power. You can see that each individual trigger of prowess removal grants him the half bar of power here, so you have to be extremely careful. Make sure that his power is low when you do that, and as long as you do that, you'll be fine. Right there, again, we've triggered 2 prowess removal, so that pushes him just below 2 bars, but that nice 40k crit finishes the fight. That was pretty fun to see. Alright, in section 2, we're on path number 1. We have a HULKLING here on node 19. There was a lot of healing in this fight, and I think in hindsight, I would have preferred to bring Void to this matchup, even though there is Indomitable on the node. And I think this is, this is a doable fight with Chavez for sure, because there are just so many buffs involved. But you can see the healing is pretty gnarly. And I was concerned at the start of the fight here that it was frankly just too strong and that Chavez was not going to be able to outdamage you. See, we're 30 seconds in, and he's basically just continuously healing up back to full here. So, kind of stuck with it. I am building up my dimensions, firing off that special 2, and thankfully that does a nice chunk of damage. So we're kind of, slowly but surely getting ahead of the curve here. As long as we just stick to the normal Chavez rotation, eventually we'll get it down. Oh, but just kidding, he has now healed up to full yet again. So yeah, we're going to get this fight down through it, but I don't think Chavez was really the play here. And this is not even the worst fight in this war in terms of regen with using Chavez, as you're going to see coming up here in a little bit. Right there, we take a combo. Unfortunately, we've triggered the Never Back Down node, so there's even more regen. And I'm starting to panic a little bit at this point in the fight, because I'm like, how, am I going to time out? Am I going to be able to outdamage the regen? And fire off this special 2 and takes him down to 3%. I thankfully was running power back boost, so that pushes us right back up to the special 3, and we're able to finish off the fight. So I'm not sure without power backs if I would have been able to get through that, but alright, next up we have a Weapon X on 28. This is a joke of a fight with Deathstrike, since she was essentially designed to kill Weapon X on any node anywhere. A lot of healing in this fight. Doesn't really matter because we have easy access to heal block on our second medium, and then of course against mutants they cannot activate unstoppable or unblockable effects while that heal block is active, and pretty much shuts down everything that makes Weapon X even remotely difficult, and just turns this into essentially a basic Wolverine fight. Because his specials are very easy to dodge, and he's not unblockable, he's not unstoppable. The healing is completely taken care of, no worries there. So yeah, we're just cycling special attacks. I think we fire off our striker here just to push him over a bar and a half of power or so, and I don't think we took any damage in that fight. That was very quick. Alright, next up we have a Maestro on 37. This fight is an absolute mess. We've got personal space healing here. And I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus, of course, but I think this was not the right call to send Chavez to this fight. I was either going to time out or die to this fight, and I knew that pretty much, 30 seconds into the fight here. You can see he just has so many regen buffs, and the way that you play Chavez, you are close to your opponent for a lot of it because her heavy is so lengthy. You're triggering regen buffs during the heavy attack, and he's just chilling close to max health for most of the fight here. I think we do at least a little bit of damage with the special 2 at some point. But so I talked a minute ago about how Void was probably the play for Hulkling. This node does not have Indomitable on it, and since you apply the debuffs with Void via his special attacks, Maestro can't glance them, and thus you would be able to easily reverse Maestro's regen and just kind of wait out the Cosmic Radiation and the Superior Rage mode here. So yeah, live and learn. Again, just a mistake. I thought that the regen might be a little out of control, and I said something about it, but we talked it through briefly, and we both kind of concluded that would probably be fine, but it was not fine. So I think next time we will be sending somebody else to this fight. So I do give up a death here. I kind of, once I realize that it's almost certainly going to end in a timeout, I start playing a little bit looser, just trying to do whatever I can, and then I think he eventually pounds me. So I don't get to finish this fight. There was no way I was going to get through it with Chavez. I think we sent... who did we send to get through this? Maybe a Wiccan? I can't remember. We have a rank 3 Wiccan in the battle group that I think we might have sent to this fight. But in the future, I think Void is the call here, as he usually is for any sort of fight with a ton of regen and no Indomitable. So we are making a little bit of progress, but again, it's just all erased so quickly. And yeah, it's just this fight just turns out to be an absolute mess. So live and learn. I think we're getting close here to the end. Just unable to really do anything. Fire off a special 2 here. That does a nice chunk of damage, but then I take the special 1 to the face and die. So, yep, don't ever want to do that one again, for sure. Last but not least, we have our old friend, Node 40 Sauron, and I'm going to speed this fight up big time because, quite frankly, I am so sick of talking through this fight. I've done this probably a dozen times in the last 3 seasons. I think we take a combo there at the beginning there. Yes, we trigger some degen, and now we really have to buckle up, make sure that we don't miss any of those special 1 dexes, because if we trigger additional degen on ourselves, it could cause us to give up a second death, and that would have been mega unfortunate already in a war that we really can't afford to lose unnecessary deaths in. So yeah, like I said, nothing really new to add to this fight. I do think I nail every dex, so that's nice. After that last fight, it was nice to have a little bit of a win to close out this war. So yeah, nothing else really to say. One more combo, there he goes. All right, so we did not go on to win this war. That's pretty typical. I don't think we've ever beaten GT40 since I've been here. 4 kills, 1 unfortunate death to that Maestro. But live and learn. We will send a different attacker rather to that fight next time, I think. And our record has fallen to 2-1 on the season. Folks, let me know if you enjoyed this by hitting that like button below. And as always, thank you very much for watching. See you again next time.